Hi again, and welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to be showing you how to cook for the next 6 days worth of meals. I'll be showing you how to prepare, cook, and package those meals, whether you be eating at home or on the go. We'll be using my personal blueprint, which won't be exactly like your blueprint, but it's going to give you a general idea how to cook for any blueprint. I typically do most of my cooking on Sunday when I have a little bit more time. I start by preheating the oven to 400 degrees. That's a great neutral temperature for cooking both your proteins and your vegetables at the same time. Then I season my meat, get that in the oven, and move on to the next step. So now let's talk about seasoning your meat and your vegetables. The first step that I took was putting a little olive oil on the bottom of each one of these pans. I then wiped it around with a paper towel. Starting with the asparagus, make sure that you properly wash it through, and then find the natural breaking point on the asparagus. And today I'm going to be using a little pepper and garlic powder. Feel free to use what other seasonings you want, as long as they're lower in sodium. Then once the meat is seasoned, we're going to pop it into the oven and set your timer. The chicken's going to take about 40 to 45 minutes, and the fish and the asparagus are going to take about 20 to 25. For my breakfast, I chose to have 1 egg, a half cup of oatmeal, a half cup of strawberries, and a half scoop of protein powder. If I'm cooking at home, I like to scramble my egg on the stove. If I know I'm going to be in a rush or on the go, I'll scramble my egg in the microwave for 30 seconds, or I'll hard boil a bunch of eggs and take them with me. So if you decided to hard boil your eggs, put them in a container and bring them with you to go. For the oatmeal, you're going to measure out a half cup and either make it on the stovetop, or you can put it in a Tupperware and bring it with you to go as well. For the strawberries, measure out a half cup and either eat it at home or take it with you. For the protein powder, you're going to measure out a half scoop and put it into your shaker. If you don't have a scoop at home, feel free to use a tablespoon. A half scoop is 2 tablespoons. So this is what your breakfast would look like for 1 day. If you need to prepare ahead, you're just going to duplicate this for 6 other days. So now I'm going to measure out my snacks. For my mid-morning snack, I chose Greek yogurt and berries. What I love about Greek yogurt is that it comes pre-packaged. Just make sure that you get 0% fat and plain. For the berries, I chose blueberries. They oftentimes come in these handy pints. Just so you know, this is about 2 days worth. If you're bringing just for 1 day, measure out your half cup. I'm bringing this with me to work, so I'm going to put it in my Tupperware. For my afternoon snack, I chose carrots, celery, and hummus. So I already have 1 cup of celery measured out. Now I'm just going to make sure that I have enough carrots. And it's going to be about 1.5 carrots and 1.5 celery stalks. So this looks like it's about right. I'm also going to bring this with me to work. And for the hummus, you can either bring the whole container with you, or you can measure out your 2 tablespoons. So I'm just adding this to the rest of the meals that I have for my day. Okay, so now I'm going to put together my lunch. I decided to go with a garden salad, salmon, and an apple. For the lettuce, you can either measure out 2 cups or use about 2 handfuls. There's 1 and 2. I'm also going to measure out my salmon. You can see I have a handy dandy food scale over here. We're doing 3 ounces of salmon. That looks good. So I'm going to actually put this on the side of my salad because I'm bringing it with me to work, but feel free to put it right on top if you're eating it at home. With my salad, I have a half of a tomato and also about 1/4 of a cucumber or a half cup. I'm also keeping this on the side just so my lettuce doesn't get soggy. And I'm also not going to forget my apple. So I'm going to push that over here. And next I'm going to show you how to make the salad dressing. Salad dressings oftentimes have a lot of calories and fat in them, not to mention processed ingredients. I'm going to show you a homemade recipe that has less calories and less fat in them. So I already have 2 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar measured out here. To that, I'm going to add a half tablespoon of olive oil, Feel free, if you have some fresh herbs at home, to add that to the salad dressing as well. I'm also going to add about a teaspoon of mustard. I like using the spicy brown mustard. It gives it a little extra flavor. And what I'm doing here is measuring out 1 day's worth of salad dressing, but feel free to double, triple, or even quadruple this recipe in a salad shaker for your whole week. Shake it up. You're good to go. Okay, so now we're going to talk about dinner. For my blueprint, I chose chicken, asparagus, and sweet potato. My chicken and asparagus are already done cooking. For the sweet potato, you could have roasted it in the oven with the other items, but I'm actually going to show you a quick trick so you can make sweet potato nice and fast. What you're going to do is cut off either side of the sweet potato and then poke it a few times with a fork. Next, you're going to stick it in the microwave. And we're going to put it in for about 3.5 minutes per side. Next, we're going to measure out our chicken. You're going to eat 4 ounces of chicken per dinner. So I'm also going to make sure that I am weighing my chicken in my food scale. And there's 4 ounces. For the asparagus, I made about 3 dinners worth, but I'm going to measure out 8 spears for a single serving. Now you can either be preparing your dinner on a plate, or if you're going to be on a go, same thing as the other meals, you can put it in Tupperware. For the sweet potato, once it's done cooking, measure out a 1/2 cup. Put it on your plate or in your Tupperware and enjoy. So now you just have one more meal to prepare for your day, and that's your evening protein shake. You're going to measure out 1 scoop of protein powder, or about 4 tablespoons. This is what your entire day's worth of meals is going to look like, to either enjoy at home or on the go by packing it in your cooler. If you have a hectic week, make sure you plan ahead and prepare as many meals as you're going to need to stick to your blueprint. Now, go shopping and get cooking.